Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are on the planet. I am Christine Comaford, and I'm thrilled to have you here with us today. Today we're going to talk about mindfulness, and we're going to teach you some 5-minute or less techniques that will transform your experience of the world and of yourself. Now, we all have 100 billion neurons. However, we only activate about 15% of those. Why? Because we're so focused on the external world, on the 5 senses, on the to-do lists, on the busyness. Today we're going to learn how to drop in, how to get still, and how to have a whole different experience of time and your ability to perform. Now, here's the thing. It's all about expanding your awareness. So elephants can hear and make many, many sounds that humans can't hear. Bees can see dozens of colors that humans can't see. It's now learned through avian research that it looks like birds can actually sense the magnetic field of the earth, and this is how they know when to migrate and where to migrate. Whoa. So all these things are happening that we're not even aware of, that these animals are aware of? Yes. What would it mean if you were to increase your awareness? What would it mean if you could go beyond your brain and intellect and actually sense, feel, hear, see a lot more? This is how some of the world leaders, Steve Jobs is a great example, were able to travel into the future, see the future trends, and then come back and create those products. For those of you who read my blog, I stalked Steve Jobs in Forbes. Steve could see 18 years ahead thanks to meditation. So let's talk about mindfulness today. Let's talk about what's in it for you, because we all want some good old ROI. All right, good. I'm Christine Comaford, as you know, neuroscience-based leadership and culture coach. I've built and sold a bunch of my companies. Every great business idea I have had has come from meditation. All the books I've written, very great clarity, have come through meditation. But here's a bio that you might not know about me. I was a Buddhist monk for 7 years. I've spent 17 years studying indigenous mindfulness practices, ancient wisdom, Peruvian shamanism, Tibetan Buddhism, Native American shamanism. These ancient wisdoms that are earth-centered really help us reconnect to who we are as tribal beings, but also as earth walkers. Because often we get super disconnected due to all the technology, and we lose track of who we are. Then what happens? We make decisions that aren't really in alignment with who we are. We build companies that don't really work for who we are, and we start to actually feel a little dead. Or maybe we're feeling great, but we're just not tapping into that next level of performance and peace and power and love and joy that we want. Today we're going to learn how to really get that stillness, how to get that focus so we can navigate growth, we can navigate change. How to increase our inner peace regardless of what is happening outside. How to have access, one of my favorite things, to new strategies, to new visions. I cannot tell you how many company strategies that have made millions, if not billions of dollars came through meditation and mindfulness. And expand your capacity to lead more effectively, to create teams more powerfully, to be more productive. We don't want to work more. We want to get more done while we work. We want to increase our level of fun, joy, ease. So let's talk about what actually happens in your brain. Harvard has found that meditation actually rebuilds the brain's gray matter in just 8 weeks. Harvard also found that 8 weeks of mindfulness training did the following. Increased our cortical thickness in our hippocampus, the cell density in our hippocampus. Learning, memory. You want to have better learning, faster learning, greater memory. Hippocampus needs to have greater cell density thanks to mindfulness. Prefrontal cortex. Increase the cell density in the prefrontal cortex. Better vision, better planning, better emotional regulation. I'm feeling irritated. I'm going to choose not to feel this way. Okay, more choice. Decreased brain cell volume in the amygdala, which is where we have fight, flight, freeze, anxiety, stress. And then, of course, Yale found reduction of the monkey mind, reduction of that constant buzzing, talking, background noise in our brain. We all know now that our brain has 60,000 thoughts per day, 90% are repetitive. Let's think less and get higher quality input coming through our brain. So one more quick thing to make your intellect happy, ROI. Why should we do this? When we look at our clients that went to our last retreat, our last mindfulness retreat, our next one is April 27 to 30. In just a moment, we're going to do our first of two practices today. When we look at those clients that went to the retreat that we held back in November, what we found was that to figure out key life decisions, it had taken 18 months. Boom, after the retreat, 3 months. Frank, one of our clients, we're going to call him Frank for confidentiality. He arrived at the retreat. He wasn't really sure what he wanted to do with his life. He was a guy in his 40s. He had been renting. He was thinking, I really kind of feel like maybe I should settle down, but it's not feeling right. Where should I settle down? Do I want to have kids? At the end of the retreat, at the end of the 3-day retreat, he had had so much clarity that 1 year later, he is now married to the woman he was dating. He purchased a home, and they've got a baby on the way. And his business is booming. Let's make things easier by tapping into more parts of our brain. Design and develop a new profound role. It took 20 months for one of our clients to kind of find the right role in this monstrous organization. Now, 6 months later, she has an amazing role with a 52% salary increase. 52% increase. Becoming more emotionally engaged. One of our clients, for 27 months, they were trying to get this big, huge company, this big, huge team engaged. The techniques they learned at our retreat, we're going to touch on a couple of them today. It took them 6 months. And then really work with that kind of sabotaging boss. Make them a vital champion. And then take a sales team that had been really struggling for 3 years and move them to the top of the heap in 8 months. So here's the thing. People are amazing. They just don't realize it. When we use mindfulness, we tap into that part of who we truly are. We want to feel really present, more connected, more calm, with that sense of spiritual goodness, that spiritual foundation. This isn't religious. This is about your experience of the universe. So we all have two minds. We have a waking mind and we have a dreaming mind. The waking mind is the mind that deals with the physical world, calendars, to-do lists, decision-making, etc. The waking mind is very limited to what the physical world looks like and sensory input. But the dreaming mind understands the nature of things. The dreaming mind understands the ancient wisdom. The dreaming mind understands that there is a much greater thing happening in this world than our physical brain is aware of. The waking mind doesn't understand the nature of things, but the dreaming mind does. You all have had experiences where things were suddenly tremendously clear. What if you could live that way all the time? You can. So here's the thing. A lot of us get kind of tied up in knots and have lots of repetitive thoughts because we haven't learned how to master our mind. Your mind is a fantastic servant, but it is a lousy master. Let's have an experience of that in just a moment. So here's the thing. If we're feeling stuck at all, if we're feeling like we're not moving at the pace that we would like to move, if we're feeling like there's got to be something more, we're going to experience it in just a moment. Everybody, please close your eyes. Close your eyes, get still, drop in. Get still and drop in. Focus on your breathing. Just kind of breathe and feel still and quiet. And think about a TV set with a newsreel across the bottom. You know how TVs have like stock prices and breaking news kind of scrolling across the bottom? So imagine a news feed scrolling across the bottom of a TV screen, and what's scrolling across the bottom are your thoughts. Okay, that news feed, those are your thoughts. And so you see some thoughts, and then you see some open space, and you see some thoughts, and you see some open space. Just see these scrolling across. If you choose, you can also see those thoughts as clouds. There's a term in Japanese, the word ma, loosely translated means pause. The pause between breaths, the pause between words, the pause between thoughts. Start to now notice, as you see those thoughts scrolling by, notice the pause between them. Focus on the pause. And now notice that as you focus on the pause between thoughts, the pause becomes bigger. you see thoughts drifting by, it doesn't matter. Let them just move on by. Focus on the pause between the thoughts. Notice that as you focus on the pause between the thoughts, the pause gets bigger. Feel what it's like to be in your body, but very, very still. You might feel energy on your palms. You might feel energy on the bottom of your feet. You might feel an expansive feeling. Just be very still, noticing and focusing on the pause, the ma, pause between the thoughts. Breathing. This is what emptiness feels like. And when we get still is when we hear the whisper, if you will, of our higher self. When we get still is when we hear the answers, if you will. So just focus a teeny bit more on the space between the thoughts. Silence is where some of the best stuff is. And we often fill our minds with chatter out of fear of silence. But silence is essential to find out who you are and to really step in to who you truly are. Good. All right. So breathe through that for a moment. Okay. Good. Energy is palpable. As we start to get more sensitive, we can actually see how energy works in the world, how energy moves through the world. We can actually see the energy of communication. We can see the energy of words. And when we understand this, we can help elevate our people, our team, ourselves to whole new levels. It is a fantastic way to be of service to others, to get still, to learn how to connect to nature, to manage your energy field, and to be more, frankly, as a result, confident in your skin. If this is something that's interesting to you, what we do at our retreat, April 27 to 30, this is the only retreat we have this year. We will have 10 people maximum. It's very intimate. Each of you will get plenty of individual attention. First, we learn how to clear all the energy that we pick up, and then how to get more energy in our body and retain it. You know that feeling that I'm talking about of being drained. We don't want to have that feeling. We also want to direct energy for positive results. We want to understand the network of rich relationships with the natural world that most of us have lost touch with, and how to connect with the natural world like our ancestors did, so that we can get support, help, guidance, and again, clearing. Purpose, how to understand our purpose in life, and to get very key learnings that help us get tremendous clarity on our purpose. When we're aligned with who we truly are, we get those results that I showed you earlier. Things that used to take 3 years can take 8 months. Things that used to take 20 months or 2 years can take a few months. And then tools to really experience and deepen our experience of life. So let's see if we have some questions.
Hi, Christine. We do have some questions. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, and thank you, wonderful Alexis Chapman, for joining us today.
So real quick, please enter any questions that you have over in the question panel of the little kind of menu navigation that you have. Also, the handout is attached in the handout section. If you didn't receive it or don't have it with you, we sent it out yesterday. Please feel free to download it, and we will be sending out a recording with it, the playback recording, within the next 24 hours after this session wraps up. So a couple of quick questions. Susan D., who is the COO of a medical supply company, just has a quick comment. She said, wow, even in the brief amount of time that we practiced the news feed, I felt a few empty pauses. Christine, in your experience, is it beneficial to do this a few times during the work day? For example, like maybe between busy meetings?
Great. Yes, Susan. First of all, I'm really thrilled that you felt what emptiness feels like and how much energy and possibility is there. So yes, it's great to do this stuff a few times during the day. It's really great to do this if any of you feel like you're getting in critter state, if you've read our book SmartTribes, or if you just feel like you want to reconnect to yourself. What's great is you can go into the bathroom, you can close the door in your office, and you can just get still for a second and focus on the space between those thoughts. So yes, please do that, Susan. Thank you.
We also have a question from Nola, and she is wondering, how often should she meditate?
I really, really recommend, Yola, doing this every morning. It's great if you just start with 5 minutes. When I was 17 years old, I started with 5 minutes per day. And I used a couple of different techniques. I used the newsfeed technique. I used another technique we'll show you earlier. Here's the thing. If you start your day by getting still, it sets the tone for the entire day. And as you get stronger and stronger at meditation, you can get a lot more done in your day and end the day with lots of vibrant energy. So ideally, first thing in the morning or after you've had your coffee, etc., I'll have my coffee, hang out with my husband and our dog, then I'll meditate, then I'll work out, then I'll start my day. So you can also do it at the very end of the day, maybe as a transition between work and your evening, just a few minutes to just get still and reconnect with yourself and clear the energy of the day. We'll teach a lot of clearing techniques at the retreat. Thanks.
Peter Z. is the CEO of a furniture company. So his question is, I know that I need to be more mindful, but he finds the term confusing. So he says, I don't know where to begin, and I don't have the attention span to stick with one thing for very long. How can I find something that works? Will this be covered at the retreat? So he's like, I'm really confused. Help me.
Okay, you got it, Peter. Yes, at the retreat, you're going to learn a bunch of different techniques, and you'll find probably 3 or 4 that really resonate with you. What some of our friends find is when they go, they feel more connected to nature. And so they actually start doing a walking meditation each morning, Peter, to feel more connected to nature. Or they'll pick a certain element, because we work with water, fire, wind, earth. They'll pick a certain element and they'll establish a relationship with that. They'll pick sun, moon, sky, etc., and they'll establish a relationship with that. So we're going to teach you so many different techniques. You're going to find at least 3 that you feel really deeply connected to. We're also going to give you tools that you can take to clear your energy and to recenter yourself. And you'll find that when you use some of these tools, even for a couple of minutes during the day, you can still things quickly and get that grounding. Because I'd like for you to have an experience of being more grounded so that you don't feel scattered and everywhere. Thank you so much.
And that is what we have for right now. So we can go ahead, Christine, and continue on for the sake of time.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. All right, guys. If we want to step into greater levels of sensitivity, and like Steve Jobs, as I mentioned before, have the ability to actually see the future and know what's coming, see what our choices are, get really still, this retreat might be the right thing for you. We have a bunch of fun people we work with. You can see from the image, we walk a labyrinth, we make sacred fires, we do Peruvian despachos. So we start to really learn how to establish relationship, sacred relationship with the earth that so many of us are disconnected from. Okay. So now we know that meditation leads to volume changes in key areas of the brain. We know that meditation reduces that activity in the brain's kind of me center with the monkey mind and the constant jabbering inside. We also know that just a few days of intensive training improved concentration, attention, clarity, performance, and connection. So this retreat is really about investing in yourself. So this is between you and yourself. Is this something that I want to experience? Do I want to feel more deeply connected with my purpose in life? Would that be deeply fulfilling? Let's do another practice and find out. So again, please get really still. And what you're going to visualize now, please, is a rose in your heart. But first, say me and touch your chest a couple times. Me. You'll find that when you say me and you touch your chest, you almost always touch the same place. That's the center of your chest. That's where your heart center is, your heart chakra is. So once you've figured out where that is, close your eyes and bring your inner focus to the center of your chest and see a rosebud there, whatever color you like. And now see the petals slowly unfolding. Slowly unfolding. This rosebud has an infinite number of petals. See them unfolding as the rose gets bigger and bigger, filling up your chest. Just keep focusing on the rose unfolding. When thoughts arise, just let them drift by. You don't need to reject them. You don't need to embrace them. See that rose opening, expanding. And you might feel some warmth in your chest. Your heart chakra actually goes from the front of your body through your back. Sometimes people will feel some warmth in the middle of their back, which is sort of the back side of the heart chakra, if you will. Just feel what that feels like. Give another moment or two. Keep breathing. Keep seeing that rose open. And again, you might notice tingling in your palms or your feet or other areas of your body. And just breathe into that rose opening and expanding. When we expand, we have more ability to navigate life. When we expand, we actually have greater choice. When we expand, we can be more connected. Connecting with ourselves, connecting with silence, connecting with others. When we connect with nature, we learn its secrets. The natural world has been around a lot longer than any of us have. It has a lot of wisdom to share with us. Good. All right. So, as you still feel your heart opening, what I'm curious about is that every highly accomplished leader that I meet knows how to stop the world. We need to be a master of our own world, not let the world master us. And when we can stop our thoughts on command, when we can drop into the silence, this is one of the best places to make key decisions, to determine if a competitive threat is truly a threat, to see future products, to assess the current state of a person who maybe we're struggling with. How do you stop the world? Come learn with us. So April 27th to 30th, we're going to learn how to stop the world. We're going to learn how to get tremendously still inside. It's held, our retreat is held at a sacred Indian ground, and the earth there is tremendous. It is full of great wisdom. The food is organic. It's beautiful. You'll You'll see Patricia Everett there, and we'll do a sound journey one evening. She is the top sound ceremonialist on the planet. She's fantastic. So when we get this level of choice in our life, we then can live in a whole new way. So first we're going to learn about the power of silence and the potential of energy and how we move it. Then we're going to learn about building relationships with the natural world and actually how physical manifestation happens. Then we're going to integrate everything. What's included is all lodging and meals, private rooms, etc., all materials, and then I have a private session with you of 90 minutes after the retreat just to check in and to give you more tools or to do any fine-tuning on the tools you've received. So it's STI Retreat, SmartTribesInstitute.com/STI Retreat. And let's see if we have any more questions.
Hi, Christine.
Yeah.
we do have a couple of quick questions. Dan wants to know, I have so much on my plate at work, I barely have time to get everything done, and he finds himself falling short. He says, I feel like I'm giving everything I have. How can I possibly create time, energy, and space to use the methods you're talking about? Will creating stillness really make a positive difference in my overall performance?
Okay, so Stan, here's what's really important, what you just said. You said you're giving all you have. Here's the thing about energy, everybody. We only have so much energy. We can give all the energy that we have, or we can learn how to move energy through us and give that. People always ask me, how do you do so much? How do you write so many books? How do you produce so much? It's not Christine energy. Christine's energy is limited. But as we learn to meditate, and as we learn, especially on the day where we focus on energy at the retreat, this is where people always go, whoa. As we learn to connect with and move energy through us, we don't feel so strapped and empty, if you will. So you need to learn, my dear friend Stan, how to forge connections with energy circuits that are naturally there already. There's a ton of energy already there. People just don't know how to tap into it. That's what we're going to do at the retreat. And I promise you, you will have a lot more energy and a lot more stillness and a lot more peace and fulfillment in your life as a result.
One more question about the retreat. Michael has a quick question. He said, I have so many things going on right now, and I really think that this retreat sounds great, but how can I possibly pull myself away from work and my family for an entire weekend? I've never done anything like this, and I'm hesitant to make this commitment. What would you suggest?
Yes. Okay. You know, Mike, here's the thing. I find a lot of people have never gone off for a weekend alone in nature with a group of people that are like-minded, with a leader such as myself to kind of help them discover who they are and get in touch with their purpose. But you are surrounded by wonderful people who love you. And the people in your life who love you want you to feel who you are, want you to connect deeply with your purpose. We find that if you simply say to your family or whoever you live with, hey, I really need to do this, I really want to deeply connect to myself, they will totally support you, because this is a beautiful thing. The things that you learn here, you can bring back home to your family. We see people have much better relationships with their kids and their spouses, much greater peace at home. So this is an investment in you, and you can bring the gifts back to all your loved ones, and they will support you because they'll feel how important this is for you.
We've had several questions, Christine, so I'm going to roll these kind of all up real quick into one because you did touch on it earlier. Do people need to know yoga? Do they need to have a certain religion? Do they need to do something like meditate on a regular basis? Do they have to be masters of anything in order to come to the retreat?
No, thank you for asking this to everybody. No, we've had people from all different backgrounds. Again, this is spirituality. This is not religion, okay? This is about your experience of whatever your version of God, the universe, Great Spirit, Yahweh, whatever is. It's really about you and nature. I find very few people know how to connect with the natural world. So no, this is non-denominational. You don't need to have any background. We will give you some questions so we can understand what foundation you're coming in with, but we've had all different backgrounds, all different types of people from all over the world come to these retreats. So there are no prerequisites. The only, I guess, prerequisite would be that you have to want to come into a sacred space and really explore who you are. And with that, all good.
Thank you. And just to let everybody know, we will be sending out a follow-up email that goes into a little bit more detail about the cost of the retreat. We've had some questions about that. So again, my name is Alexis Chapman. I'm the Director of Client Care here at SmartTribes Institute. Tammy, our amazing head of marketing, will assist as well. So we will send a follow-up email that has all the answers to some of the kind of FAQ questions, and we also have a little bit of a deal for you for attending today's webinar for the retreat itself that we're very excited about. So great. Christine, back to you.
Thank you so much, Alexis. So this is an investment in yourself. This is like investing in real estate, okay? We spend money on a cup of coffee, right? You know, you might enjoy it, but it's gone afterwards, right? So we spend on things that are transitory. We invest in things that actually change our whole experience. So if this is an investment that you would like to make in yourself, now is a great time. We're doing this one time this year. So join us if you would like on Monday, February 20th at 2 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. Bring your questions. No question is too crazy. We'll answer whatever your questions are. And then for those of you who are already set, you can go to smarttribesinstitute.com/STI retreat and go ahead and sign up, and we'll look forward to seeing you then. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for investing in yourself today to learn these tools. All right, I'll see you guys on the 20th, and then I'll see a bunch of you guys at the retreat. Thank you so much.